If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys, catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing.
All right, let's get the show on the road, shall we? Today is a very sensitive topic. Very sensitive topic that I I took from what I've been hearing from various people throughout the YouTuber sphere, saying that women are responsible for the deaths of um, many African American boys, African American babies at a high clip. What I should have done was pull up the stream of the corporate responsible for saying these horrific things. However, you know how I am. And simply put, I tend not to agree with everything unless I'm getting it from a specific source. If I'm not getting it from any source, then I don't listen. I don't listen to everything. It's like they say men can walk on water. Well, show me the date and time. What is my Cash App? My Cash App is, I'll put it in the stream. Hold on. I'll put it in the stream real quick. For, for those who would like to contribute, this is small for me because, like I said, people need to try out different things, right? Because right now, StreamYard is getting quite expensive, quite expensive. So, and the shit is supposed to be free. So let me put in my real quick. But I'm starting to get used to this a little bit. I'm starting to get used to this StreamYard thing a little bit, and quite frankly, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It's just that this 720 need to be 4K. But when I get there, I'll get there. But let me get to I'm working right now. Um, making a drizzle on you. You're making it drizzle on what? I'm gonna make it drizzle on you. Really? Okay. Well, I mean, whatever you can contribute, dollar 50 cent, whatever you can do. It will be much appreciated because you know I love you. And how have you been, by the way? I called you yesterday on accident, but I was like, let me see how Mahogany Roots is doing. By the way, everybody go support Mahogany Roots and MJ because that woman is fire. Let me just say that off top. All right. Let me just say that from the beginning, man. But this is pretty much a hobby for me. Like I told you before. This is just a hobby to me, right? Thank you for the $10 cash app. Love you, appreciate you. I blow a kiss. I give a toast to Miss Mahogany Roots supporting the cash app. We'll have some music for you, but what is the topic? Topic is, why are our babies being deleted? More like how and why our babies are being deleted. And like I said, some people on YouTube, and I'm gonna pull up the stream. There are some people on YouTube that digress that black women are responsible for 90% of deaths of babies due to the fact that they don't want um babies in this world for what happened in their relationships and yada yada yada, and due to the fact that they heard a woman in PhD said that I would delete a black boy if I had it, due to the degenerates, quote unquote degenerates. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's see. And I'm not saying that her opinion is her opinion, but she's gonna have to go to God for that. She's gonna have to go, because if there's one thing, if you have two parents in the home, there is no need. There's no need for all this. There's seriously no need for all this and all this going on. But for a woman to say that, I seriously hope that her and God have a conversation, which they will. They eventually will. They eventually will. But let me go and look for that. While I'm doing that, like, share, like, Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Like my girl Shish Trish would say, smash it. Go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and smash the like button. Or give me a, if you want me to give me a heart. Give me a heart, son. I know I should have looked this up earlier. Let me see. Because I know it was at a different stream. While I look for that, while I am looking for that, I want to read off some of the things or the reasons why black babies are being deleted at a high clip. And it's not because a woman just gets up in the morning and says, I don't want my child anymore. Or I just the nigga ain't around. So I'm gonna go and have an abortion. I'm not saying that there are not any women who actually do that. I'm not saying that. Because there are some dumbasses who do that. I am specifically stating what do you mean deleted from society media? Delete from society media? No, deleted from society, period. Deleting from society, period. And she has stated it on multiple occasions. She has not backed down from that. She has not backed down for that, not one bit. She is on her, she stands on her square. And I say fine. But don't let the rest of society, I mean, respect you, because that's just not my makeup. I don't speak to her. I speak to Sharon. Although Sharon does some real slick things to try to make money. I mean, it's all media. It's all a shit show. But yet, he does that to make money. Congratulations, you getting your paper. He does a real good stream when it comes to making money. It's the same thing with Angry Man. Same thing. Same thing. It's the same thing with Fatty. Same thing. All of it is the same. So, and they talk about basically the same shit. It's the same shit all day. That's not me. That's not my lane. People attend to me because they want the realness coming out of my mouth. They just want to, when you want an entertainment show, you go over there. That's the entertainment part. You going over there and letting them entertain you. And he's like, well, all women are liars. So what are all men? So men lie, women lie, men lie. What's your point? So we don't believe in second chances all of a sudden? We don't believe in fixing ourselves morally, mentally? We don't believe in that? It's just going to be the same shit. Oh, okay, cool. Well, let it be the same shit to you. Meanwhile, I got other folks that want to change themselves for the better, if you know what I mean. As for people, these people don't know how to research and do real stuff. I actually, Mahogany, there are some people that do actual research and put on these little dot, these little PowerPoints and prove otherwise. I was like, well, what is your source? Did you get it from the CDC? Did you get it from the government tabloids or something? Did you get it from the government? Where did you get your source from? Hmm? Where did you get your sources from? So I don't let that bother me. I just go to the truth and yada yada yada. It's right there in front of your face. It is right there in front of your face. As a matter of fact,
Mom's gonna take care of the preteens.
Okay, cool. That's my 10-year-old son. Isn't he all grown? So what? Let's go here. Let's go here real quick since I'm going to be doing some research. Let's go here. Oops, wrong one. How do I do this? Okay. Infant infant mortality rates. Infant mortality. Let's read, shall we? Can anybody see that? Let me blow it up. Let me go ahead and blow it up. Let's move this out the way. And once again, thank you for the 10. Thank you for the 10. Let's blow this up. Mortality, infant mortality. So when if people come up to me and they say that women are responsible for 60% or 70% of deleting their own babies, I said, well, out of that 60 or 70%, where does that actually come from? How are babies how specifically are babies being deleted? Because they just don't think that out the blue and say, just because the nigga ain't around, just because the nigga doesn't want to support me, doesn't want to do anything for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this child. It doesn't happen like that. So, infant mortality. Infant mortality is the death of an infant before he or her first birth. Infant mortality rate is an important maker of the overall health of society. In 2022, the infant mortality rate in the United States was 5.6 deaths per 1,000 lives birth. Interesting. The causes of infant mortality. More than 20,500 infant deaths or infants died in the United States in 2022. That's the recent research right there. I'm sure they're gonna come up with more of this in 2023 and 2024. But anyway, the five leading causes of infant deaths in 2022 were birth defects, preterm birth or lower birth weight, sudden infant death syndrome, uni, un, turn, you turn, uni, unintentional injuries, car crashes and stuff like that, morally pregnant complications. But the one thing that really hit me, the other one is racism. The other one is racial conflict. So that's 6. The other one is racial conflict. That's 6. So that's it adds to the percentage when it comes to infant mortality rates and death. And Black women have the highest infant mortality rate than white women do. Most of it, we might as well just say, it's stress. We might as well just say it's stress. We might as well just say that. Drop the link. Okay, just a second. It might as well just say that. Let me see. How do I drop this link again? Oh, okay, cool. Stress from your mate, stress from white folks. That's clearly what most of it stems from. But we don't want to take into account the stress factor, the the lead of certain things, what you do for her, what she goes through, when she goes through pain on a daily basis while she's pregnant. We don't take that in consideration, do we? Oh, I think we need more. Okay. As soon as mahogany comes on, share it. I'm sharing. You give me just a second. Okay. Oh, we need more proof. So I think we're in the proof department. We need to prove this. We need to prove that. We need to prove that these babies are supposed to be the woman's responsibility when actual fact it's all of our responsibility. You stuck your penis into her vagina, did you not? So I think this is it. Me. Uh, okay. Now that we pause that, let me go to a different stream. Like I said, I'm getting used to this. I kind of like this actually. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and share this.
The last 4 years, Beverly Garcia Barrios appeared to be a healthy 24-year-old pregnant woman, but that changed last month when she came to Woodhull Hospital. She wasn't feeling well. Doctors rushed her in for an emergency C-section. The father of her child never saw Barrios again. It was Shaasia Washington in 2020. She also had an emergency C-section at Woodhull and then died. Last November, it was Christine Fields. The New York City medical examiner said she died of hemorrhaging from a C-section also at Woodhull. New York City Health and Hospitals wouldn't discuss Barrios' case with us because of patient privacy, but said in a statement, over the last years, we have been particularly focused on helping reduce the unacceptable maternal mortality rates among women of color through innovative interventions. This is the third.
Welcome to the We-On-Loc Nation show. Who did?
Hey, it's MJ.
Hi, MJ. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I had quite a few things to say. Of course, I'm not going to stay up. I'm actually trying to observe the Sabbath, but I was listening. I listened to you a lot from the cloud. So I said, let me just hop down. And I did share you. So prayfully, some people come in and join the conversation. Um,
Oh,
I always ask you, well, this is the thing, these topics, the abortion topic, the mortality rate topic, they actually, well, a few of the ladies in the space have brought up the mortality rate, and that's the thing, that was my question. Were they talking about African American baby mortality, or were they talking about abortion rates? Because they're not the same. What were they talking about?
it wasn't a her, it was a him.
Uh-huh.
What was it? World class. World class usually brings up the mortality, the not the mortality rate, but the abortions and stuff like that. That women are responsible for this certain amount of deaths in society. And I argued him down that will most of those abortions come from grape or getting beat up and stuff like that, because there are women who truly do get beat up while pregnant and stuff like that. So
Well,
that's where that.
I want to talk about both is because it's important. There are two totally different subjects. I'll deal with the mortality rate. African Americans are African men. You're right. African American women suffer more infant mortality rates because we are very much underserved. I went through this myself. I know several Black women that have gone through this. When we go to the doctor, we're often told, basically, we might say we're in pain. There's basically a sweeping under the rug of our pain. It's kind of like, oh no, you're just complaining. A lot of our complaints, and this is true not just for the women, but for the men too. Some of us, we don't. we're not able to get the best health care. So there's many reasons for the mortality rate. So I'll leave that there. Far as the abortion rate, what I've been arguing with this space with for years, and to the point where I just refuse to have the conversation, is it might be true. Listen, a lot of things are true when you look at people's economic status, their access to healthcare, their access to birth control. And I know about this because I actually was in the am in the healthcare field, have been in the healthcare field for over 20 years on both sides, on the medical side and on the dental side. There's reasons for this. Now you see a lot of the numbers rising up with the Hispanic community. There's reasons for this. So a lot of it has to do with lack of support. The main reason, to be quite frank, for women of all races, there's different, and that's the thing. There are many reasons. It's hard to really group everybody's reason into one because there's different things going on. For
Mm-hmm.
one woman, it could be abuse. For another woman, it could be a financially pressing situation. But the main reason overall is just a lack of support. Women who tend to make that decision, when we ask, and we have actually asked this question to patients, um, when they're considering doing some type of family planning, whether it's birth control or something else, what is your main reason? The main reason is lack of support. So instead of us dealing with that issue, why do these, and it's usually, honestly, mostly younger women. There's things we need to break down, and that's why I say a lot of these people don't know how to read statistics. They, and then when they try to do it, they read old, outdated statistics, and then they don't even know how to break down what they're reading. They're In order to understand a statistic, you actually have to know the margin of error, and then you also, meaning the situations that um, cause differentiation in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many situations that cause differentiation in numbers, but overall, women that make that decision, usually there's a lack of support, whether it's from the man. And then in that situation, we got to ask ourselves, well, what kind of relationships are these? So are these unwanted pregnancies? And if that's the case, then both parties are responsible, because guess what? If you don't want your child to be aborted, you should not be having unprotected sex to where that woman can say, oh, I'm going to abort your child. Don't give anybody that much power over your body, over your seed, especially if you're not in a committed relationship. Like, we've got to really delve into this. And it could be a situation where the maybe where she might want it, or it could be a situation where he might want it. But why? We got to ask ourselves the bigger picture. Why are these people hooking up without commitment, and having the situation come about? Period. For one thing, birth control is so easy to get nowadays. It's literally sold in Walmart and in the supermarket and on the corner store for $20. The morning after pill is literally, I think, $20 or less. There is no reason for people to be having unwanted pregnancies at this point in the game. So there's a lot of things we need to break down. Access to birth control, education. I think the main thing is education for our
Mm-hmm.
people, for young people in particularly, and how to prevent this thing from happening anyway. And then we need to deal with why people feel unsupported, why women that do this feel unsupported in the first place. And if they feel unsupported, then they need to learn how to protect themselves, to not put themselves in this predicament. Listen, I'm all for standing up for women, but at the end of the day, we got to learn to stand up for ourselves, and we've got to. My mom told me a long time ago, honey, if you lay down, people gonna walk over you.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means, basically, if you play the victim, people will victimize you. You have control over your body. You don't have to end up in a situation where you're at some kind of abortion clinic. This is 2024. Birth control is less than $20 at Walmart. Let's get it together. Let's get it to goddamn gather. You see what I'm saying? So I understand you wanted to defend us, but sometimes we need to act like we got some sense too. We're not children, and we have brains, and we can think logically. So we need to be making better decisions. And this is one last thing we unlock. The fact is, a lot of states are, and this is a whole nother topic, because I do think I
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily agree with the outlawing of abortions, for the simple fact that I've talked about there are women in situations where they have stillbirths and their lives are in danger if they don't get this baby out. So I've talked about that. Those are dramatic cases, but those are cases that happen. And so
You
I
said
think,
stillbirths. You said
yeah,
stillbirths.
women carrying dead infants inside of them, and to the point where they need to have an emergency abortion to,
C-section.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, not even because abortions
What?
really happen in the first trimester. They happen in the beginning, but I'm saying there are emergency situations where babies unfortunately don't make it in the womb, and that woman needs to, with this new law, it's very muddy water, because now you put the mother's life at risk. But I didn't mean to be long-winded. I just wanted to talk some of that.
Hey,
Hey, antisocial.
this is good for me. This is good for me, and I don't listen. I have to defend. I have to defend my sisters all for this. You have a plethora of more people defending the men more than they're asking yourself, well, what is the woman's situation? Are you with her? Are you with that woman? Are you taking care of that woman? Right? Instead of doing that, it's like, well, women need to stop, kicking the men out of the homes. I was like, how often does that happen? How
No, I
often do
listen, I agree with you, but that's the question of the lack of support. They never want to deal with why women feel unsupported.
I
Period.
want to be in the I want to be in the middle, but nobody wants to be in the middle. Nobody wants to nobody wants to say, okay, this is the men's fault and this is the women's fault. If men stop having just have some D control and women stop opening their legs to men, then we wouldn't be having this situation. Am I right or wrong?
Well, that's what I'm
Right?
saying. It's Well, what I'm telling you, We-On-Loc, it's both people's responsibilities, and that's why you can't really just defend one or the other, because two grown people, well, when you screw and you don't have birth control, that there's a possibility that the woman's going to get pregnant. So that's why I'm saying you really defend that, as long as it's not forced upon, as long as it's not an incestual thing, and as long as it's not a child, and sometimes it is children getting pregnant, but I'm talking of competent adults. Listen, it's both parties' responsibility. And I don't believe in coddling adults. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I think you have a brain and you should use it.
Right. But okay. Maybe I wanted to ask, am I
Sure.
overprotective? Am I over what is
Yes.
it? Panda? Okay.
Can I tell you
So
something though? And I'm not the reason, sweetie. I was the same way when I came on this platform. I defended women, and what did it do? It got me slapped in the fucking face. Look at you. Look at the content you do every time you get up here and you defend black women. But where are they at? They're at the male channels. They're at the same channels that they complain about. Do you see what I'm saying? Look at how big Kevin Samuels got because of all the support and the women that would go and watch him and donate and do all this and that. They should be over here with you. But they're over there engaging in the foolery. And that's why I don't feel sorry for them when they get dragged on this hoe. I don't feel sorry for them at all, because the people that they should be supporting and standing by, they don't. So oh well. It's one of those things, a hard head make a soft ass, honey. That's how I feel about it.
I've been doing it for exactly
Hey, Trish. Is that my
3 years
Hey, Trish?
now.
Good
So
night, beautiful people. How are you?
Hey, sweetie.
Smash it.
Smash it, honey.
nice.
He gave you a shout out, and we were like, smash it. I love it when you do.
Yes, thank you so much. Um, I have a question
Hey, now.
to
Yes.
We-On-Loc,
Yes.
and I need you to really think about this question because I'm going through a little crisis, right? Going through a little crisis, but I'm a seasoned woman. This is what I've been built off of crises, right? You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? I, I'm
Uh-huh.
I'm a pro at stress.
Mm.
dealing with stress, believe it or not.
Uh-huh.
So here's the thing. The question is, would you be willing to come to Belize November 2025?
Belize. She said
That's in
Belize.
New
Belize.
York, right?
No, Belize is another country.
I would.
No, and it's a vacation. It's a vacation. It's a vacation. But I can't say it on YouTube. I have a pivot. When you're a boss, you have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I hate haters. And nothing brings me more joy than to stun on people. It's the New York in me.
Uh-huh.
That's all you need to know. I'm not talking a lot. I just want to know if you would be interested. If you're interested, and I got 6 more people that said yes, 40 people can go to Belize, but I need 15 of my people there. And I will promise you, I will show you how you maneuver in this world. And it will blow. We will take over the shit.
Hmm.
Just got to be committed. And it's not going to be a lot of people, but it will be us from every sector.
Can I get back with you tonight?
Yeah, send me an email. You don't have to send it right now, but if you can send it to me before November 1st, that would be great. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Think about it, talk to your wife, plan, and any questions, send me. This is the shit I like to talk about in email. How to bring money to our channels. You don't need a
Mm.
lot of subscribers. You don't need a lot of views. You just need people like me and partnerships, collaborations with other heavy hitters on this platform. I think
Mm.
you're a heavy hitter no matter what anybody says. I know you are.
I try my best, but
Yeah,
like I said,
and plus you're
people
my
don't like me.
Wally.
People don't like me because I advocate for women and I advocate for Umar. So that
If
would
you
be the
go against the grain, if you go against the grain of the zombies and sleepwalkers, they think they can control your destiny, your fate. I've had white people come at me most of my career and they failed.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to be the power structure, right? So what do you think I would do with black people that ain't got shit?
Mm.
Think about it. So that's
Oh
why
yeah,
I play humble. I'm very humbled, but don't play with me. I'm I'm a
I'm humble too.
beast.
I appreciate those who have put me on. You're one of them. So
Oh, this is just the beginning. You have no idea because I don't show anything. I don't even cam up most of the time. But baby, when I tell you I got fire underneath my ass, when somebody tells me I can't do something, you know what I do? Not only do I do it so big, so ridiculous, it shuts them down. And I've been like this since a teenager. It's just, one of those things. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
mm-hmm.
stay one. That's why they stay mad because they don't know how I do it. But this, I need people, and I need good people, and I need people like me that I relate to, that mirror me, that I find my equal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
let's get back to your conversation. What y'all talking about over here? Smash
Well,
it.
he was talking about the infant. Well, he was talking about a live stream that he saw, and they were doing the same old bull crap they've been doing in the manosphere for years, talking about basically blaming black women for all the
This was on
abortion
Sharon.
rates.
This was on Sharon's channel.
Oh my
But
gosh, Sharon. Oh, Sharon. So
You know,
it's controversial. Okay, let me sit down for this, y'all. Hold on. Go ahead.
I'm looking
I
for it
always have
now.
to clutch my pearls, brace myself when Sharon Bracey's panel is described because I already know what he's doing. He's good at what he does, but let me tell you, if you are not really conscious, forget about being woke, you get sucked into that bullshit. So give it to me, mama. I'm on mute.
oh, okay, but basically, I'll just tell it real fast. We-On-Loc. But basically, they were talking about basically saying black women are the cause of the abortion rates. Some dude was saying,
What?
but like it's our fault about the abortion rates, and then
Wow.
We-On-Loc
Good
did
Lord.
pull up some good information about infant mortality, and we were talking
Yeah,
about the
God.
reasons
Are
that,
you serious?
yeah, but
Uh,
they've been doing this for years in this
Well,
space.
so like, what was? Let me ask you this. I know Waylon Locke probably has his assessment of it as a woman,
Uh-huh.
right? What was your takeaway from that live overall? Not the moments, the overall takeaway. What was the messaging in it that you got? If you didn't know this space, you came from, just say, the trucking sector or some other oblivious sector for how these spaces in these marginalized sectors get down. What would you think about his live? That's what I want to get as a white person or another race, not as a black person. That's
Oh,
all. That's how I assess these lives. If I was white and from somewhere else, what would I think about this live, this person, these people in this chat? But people don't think like that, right? What do you think when I put that type of placement on viewership, assessing?
to
Oh,
me,
mhm.
I no longer listen to it, but I know what you're saying. You're saying, what would I think if I was a white person listening in? Because I don't listen to negative stuff anymore. I've been cut these conversations out, and I keep on telling We-On-Loc he should do the same thing. But if I have thought about that, like, damn, what do white people think about this? I think that a lot of them that watch the content and they come over here and see us acting just horribly towards each other and saying horrible things about each other, I think that they laugh and they giggle. I think the ones that come over to this space, they're racist and they like.
Well, hold on. What would you think about Sharon Bracey? That's the more specific question. He's the conductor of that live. He's a black
uh,
man, married to other. Okay,
mm,
he's married to another, but he's perpetuating this type of content. Don't forget about that, Meta.
yeah, that's true. Well, I think they're going over there because they can, because any other platform they'd be booted off. So they're doing it because he allows. So they don't have respect for him. Flat out, I know that they don't, because they would never try
Yeah,
this
but
on.
here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
They is who?
The white.
Who's they? You think they? Oh, you have it up? Let me go on mute. I want to see. And Brownsville. Let me ask you a question, Wally. How do you feel about
yes,
Brownsville?
I like the brother.
Got it.
I
Got it.
like
Got it. You like who I
yeah.
like usually. Well, except for one. I don't know what the fuck happened there. But my thing is, generally where I see you move is people that I support too, but I support them in the clouds. I see you a lot of places, Wally. You just don't see me because I'm Trish. I'm loud on panels, but I hush and move. You don't know where I'm at. You know what I mean? I see you around. I don't drop down because I want to see how you move. And I'm pretty impressed. That's why I know we're one. Get it?
Mhm. No, I got
We are the same. A few people are, but there's few and far between that is just tired, sick and tired of the bullshit, you know? And yes, I'm guilty of contributing to it, but I get a joy because I'm seasoned. It's a sport for me to shut people down and make them feel stupid. I do this with white people too. I like doing it because putting people in a place, it provokes thought, it provokes change. When they see things from a different perspective than their own, even me, if I someone has a different perspective, whether I'm wrong or right, I still analyze it. So it
mhm.
provokes thought. You know what I mean? Not everyone thinks the same way, and we can all learn from each other, especially
Yeah.
our experiences. None of us are spring chickens. None of us are 18 years old on this shit in these spaces. I don't know why people are stuck, but it is what it is. I'm on mute, babe.
All right. I found the clip that you know what? I ain't gonna even start. I'm just gonna start here. They're bitching and moaning, and of course, World Class thinks he's smarter than everybody else. Then I had to rebuttal a little bit because again, he did this on my show. I think a few years back, saying that women are responsible for maternal deaths of women are babies at childbirth. So I said, okay, can you prove statistically? He has not even yet to prove statistically where this shit comes from. So, but let me shut my mouth and I'm gonna play the clip. Fair use.
By peer pressure, right? That takes the peer
we're doing, but the rest of us, we're going to have to be strategic about how we're having children. And yes, only great married people who want to be in something where they know that they're going to be able to raise their children and really put on for our people. That's the only people that need to be replicating right now. The rest of us need to take a fucking break. It's not just the men that need to be bred out. It's a lot of bitches that need to be bred out too. Y'all don't look at the black people and just say, okay, a large amount of this needs to go to a camp, a concentrated one. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez Louise.
Men back in the day, Brownsville had 13, 12, 10 trades. Well, me and you probably got 2 or 3. So I have to find that to be disrespectful to say that either way, to say that the women and men from the past that we come from are weak or were abusive. Don't fuck up their reputation and speak ill on the dead. Either one of them is disrespectful. We stand on their shoulders. We only here because of them. They already did their job to allow us to fucking exist so we can make mistakes or make something great. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah, all right. Go ahead with the hour class. I know you're talking.
But just to the question, what would the solution be? Would you agree that being better parents, which is always my solution for 99% of the conversation, being better parents would be, or focusing on parenting and improving would be the solution?
Court cases
what about the women who are getting? Here we go.
More big niches in our community. Nobody is looking at
from the child. I mean, this woman kept me.
Okay.
Right. Clothes, you're making the clothes too expensive and setting trends and promoting drugs and violence. That's what y'all do when y'all become millionaires and then y'all ain't marrying nobody. Y'all will baby mama a couple of people. Y'all ain't marrying nobody. So it's not like that every time y'all come into wealth, y'all just willing to share the wealth with everybody. Y'all giving people who get food stamps turkeys on Thanksgiving and y'all think that that's something big. All them women you giving turkeys to, they got food stamps. They got turkeys at home. You're giving them bikes. Why you not building a school? You're not building no infrastructure. You're not building no homes. You're not buying land. You're not buying communities. Y'all didn't do it right. What did Oprah do with her billions? She didn't build schools, started water, went to Africa, did all of these things. Y'all know what women do when we get our bread. We take care of everybody but men. Because men supposed to take care of themselves. And everybody else. But if y'all have dropped the ball, somebody got to pick it up. So let us shoot.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. You take care of everybody but men. Men listen to that. Okay. What my thing is, what's the point? What are you doing for us as a whole, as the community as a whole? That's our charge. What black man do you know that has a family, that has a wife and kids, just takes care of his kids? Don't deal with any other kids around him. No, that is false. That is false. That is false.
Hold on.
Sharon, you know that's false.
Where do the kids come from? It come from you men.
Hold on a second.
Wait
a minute.
Where did the men come from?
Wait a minute.
Where do these men come from?
Listen, y'all cannot.
All these amazing women that did all this.
Are y'all going to just hold on?
You answer the question
before we move forward. Are y'all going to negate what Sherelle said? Or y'all
I'm about to. Yeah.
Y'all just want to add a new problem to it because she just told y'all what's the problem. Instead of coming up with a solution, y'all just want to just come up with some.
You say something?
Yes, I wanted you to pause it because I wanted you to pause it after what Sherelle said. It's very powerful what she said. I disagree with one part of that. She comes across partially experienced. That's my first intake. When she said that women do not take care of men, that's a motherfucking lie. Real black women do. We take care of our men. We take care of our children. We take care of our community. That's a lie. So if women think that men are supposed to do everything, we already lost. We are the leaders, the true leaders. So we got to take care of them in ways that some don't even know exist. How do you think men succeed? It's through the woman.
Woman.
That just didn't make sense to me, and it's her opinion, but I
She's
have.
very headstrong. She's very headstrong, and she had to put up a lot, especially in these spaces. And she's a part of Fight Club, so
Yeah,
she's
but hold on. Does she have children? Has she ever
no,
been married? Okay,
no.
so that's why that I knew it. I don't know her, but hearing that, you could tell she never had to nurture male organisms, a husband, a son. You know what I mean? A brother.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell. I've never heard a real black woman, Mother Earth, say that before because I don't believe that. So I just wanted to correct that part. It's an inaccurate way to move as the black community. Men have to care about women and women have to care about men. There's no ifs, ands, or about it.
Right. I understand where you're coming from. When you have a group of men acting like this, and this is nothing compared to what I've heard recently.
Right. Here's the problem with that. If we lived back in the Malcolm X days when he was a thug, or this and that, if we dismissed him then and that in his time of despair, where would we be? Listen, I can't fall for the okie doke, right? So I let them talk. I do what I see clearly. There's no one that's going to change my mind. I'm being Sakem all day. Black man, black woman, science never changes. Okay.
Gotcha.
But when I hear commentary like that, it's like, she's not really conscious. It sounded good until she said that. That's all I wanted to say.
Want me to run it back some?
Please don't.
Okay.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Another blanket statement say, no,
can't have a solution for inaction.
Us men that ain't shit. Y'all are the mediocre men.
I just signed up for school program. That's my solution.
So the reality of it is, where did these men come from? They was these same little boys that y'all brag about that you took care of. You, as if men are not taking care of the children, when in reality, what these black mothers, these big mamas is doing is teaching these little girls to child alienate. I want to leave that part. These are the same little boys that don't know how to take care of themselves when you was fucking up when they was kids. Right? Y'all do this goofy shit, child alienate, and then act like the niggas is not there when that's not the truth. The reason like the chick got us, she don't have. You ready to talk? You ain't know you want to talk when Sherelle was bringing up, because all you gotta do is shit with me when I talk. You can go look in these child custody cases and see how many times are saying that this lady kept me from the child. This woman kept me from the child. All the way back to the fucking 60s. So you child alienate and then pretend that the nigga is not there, when in reality, you find out that you're not good enough to be the only one. There's another woman, and then the only power that you have as a black woman in the country is to abuse the child. Keep that child to yourself and act like you love the child when you're keeping the baby away from their birthright, which is their parent. That's the reality of the story. That's the correction I'm bringing up for what Sherelle was talking about. Fucking them up every day, beating the fuck. No, hold on. Fucking them up every day, beating or whatever, how many times you do it, then sitting and saying you love the child. Yet when a nigga do the same shit to y'all, you ain't got nothing to say. You treat the little children the same fucking way that y'all say these niggas treat you. You financially abuse them. Y'all dox the children. Tell everybody their business. That's the reality of it. So don't sit like, if somebody sitting in the chat, don't sit and act like you this big village shit, because it be the aunties that be cheating their little nieces and shit, telling them dumb shit, tricking them into something that they don't want, just because the little aunties are ugly or they time has passed, and you can't have the life that the little young chick got. Come on, cut the bullshit. Because you can fake the shit like y'all really doing something in the household, but it's Mr. James at the rec center teaching your son the skills that he need for him to get to the league. It's the dope nigga. It's the dope boy spending the money at the recording studio, buying his studio time him to make the record. That's what's happening in real life. The shit with the difference between me and y'all, you can go look in your state and go look at all these court cases that y'all want to talk about. Niggas ain't want to be in a child life. You can see them arguing, yeah, she keeping the baby away. In every country, every state in this country, child alienation is illegal.
You good?
That's one part of it. That's just one part of it. What is he talking about? I don't know. He just goes off the random all the time. All the fucking time. And we were just looking at
I
him like,
understand him clearly. I don't know why you don't. There are a lot of women that weaponizes their children to get at men because they broke their hearts. You've heard about these stories millions of times. The government helped with this mindset. Welfare. Get the man out of the house. We don't need him. You don't need him. You have us. We your daddy. It don't work like that.
was that black women or was that white women who provoked that?
It was the government.
So that would automatically be white people because we don't.
Well, white people, but usually, it's the government. And believe it or not, there are a lot of black people that work for ACS and CPS, so they're contributing to it too, unconsciously. You know, they're trained to go against their own community. So it's a plethora. You got a lot of men that sit as commissioners at these agencies that traffic children, black children, vulnerable populations. We can go on, but he's not crazy. I see what he's saying. I'm not male identified. I definitely understand it because it's the truth. So unless we really look at things for what it is and stop trying to brush it underneath the table and take responsibility and accountability of what part we play in this problem, we're going to still have these conversations with a guy like Sharon Bracey, who's married to a white woman, holding panels like this to, stir the pot for these conversations with black men going against black women and vice versa. I don't think that we should have these conversations like this and blame each other unless we're really taking ownership of what part did we play, what part did our parents play, grandparents, great grandparents play, and why we think the way we do. It's because of hurt.
They play a significant role. They play a part. But when we have conversation like this, it's more going backwards to me than anything because this has all been talked about for years.
Yeah, we talked about it for years, but look at this panel. Do it sound like they agree? Everyone knows the same information, but they use certain parts to benefit their ideology, their hurt. Like if a man hurts you, you're gonna have some truth in it, but it's gonna be a little stank, like Sherelle said. Don't take care of a man. So how's the household supposed to thrive with it? With you thinking like that? That's the lineup. That sounds like a op conversation. You know what I mean? I see it, and people don't like me because I point it out all the time. Like, well, what? You was doing good, girl. And then he messed up when he talked about the alienation of children, right? How many men walked away from a household, a family situation, their responsibilities because they don't want to deal with the woman. They're too difficult to deal with. So I can't see my kid. So it's depending on the mindset.
So how do we get this to the point where, okay, we all know that women suffer the most when it comes to infant mortality. We all know that the men now, the ones that it's being told to me that men now are trying their hardest to get their children out of child support court and stuff like that. So it all becomes one big horizontal mess.
You know what the problem is? I mean, this person in the chat saying, look at the news. Why would I look at the news when I can go? I'm the first proximity. Why would I go to white people? You just said you don't want to go to white people, Mel, in the chat. But you want me to go to the news? I'm not going to go to the news. I can go to a hood. I can go to my cousins. I can go to my household to see it. I don't need somebody to tell me how black people act, what's really going on. They're not at the round table like us having these conversations. They can watch and then they can go to their platform and say, look at what black people are doing. But they don't know what's really going on unless we invite them in like YouTube is doing right now.
I mean, we see it every day.
Every day. And it's never on the news unless it benefits
It's
their agenda.
never on the news. Never on the freaking news. It all would have been
And who
unless
came
we
up
watch
with these
cops.
rules? Who came
Unless
up with
we
these rules to get us to fight anyway? Let's talk about that. Who came up with these rules to get us as a community, the Black community? Because that's all it affects. It don't affect any other race but us. How is that? You ever thought about that? You go to white spaces, they're not talking about all of this bullshit. It's us that are affected by policies. And then because we're good law-abiding citizens, we go against our own men because what? The news, the government, other people tell us how to treat each other. And then when we perform for them, we get mad because look at how they have us. Get out of the matrix, people. Who says we can't love each other and forgive each other? Who says there aren't good examples of Black people
We are too
in here?
separated.
All we see is chaos, chaos, chaos. So you trying to tell me if I didn't know any better, if I came to YouTube and listened to these panels all day, I would think we're the most fucked up race in the world. Like we are demons. And I know that's not true, but listen to the conversations that we're having. Some are, but not all. And that's what I'm saying. We are the majority of the world. There's no way you're going to feed me that nasty ass syrup. That's syrup. It will cause you diabetes. You keep sipping on that shit.
We're just too. The thing about
Hold on. I thought Desi was with an E. Is it with an I?
She spelled it wrong.
Okay, because I know I was corrected many times, and I'm a studious student, you know.
Sorry, Issa, you spelled it wrong. But we're just too separated. We're just too separated from each other.
That's what white people want you to think. We're not separated. We're connected by spirit. Are you serious? We're the strongest spiritual people in the world. We're not separated. We're confused, but we're all connected.
Don't nobody, especially over there, don't talk about no goddamn spirituality, please. You don't even know about spirit.
Right. But they just need to be woke and then conscious. That's all. Not everybody gets it.
Why do you think Sharon lost that debate with if you've seen it?
That shit was crazy. I love it. I love that.
Why do you think he lost?
He was like,
he doesn't think like that. He thinks we are the world. We should get along to get along. And all these Black problems don't exist if you just stop saying it. I'm like,
because he created a world in his household. But here's the thing: he has children with Black women. He procreated with Black women. He didn't procreate with his wife. That's the guy.
I don't think that is. If we don't need, again, we don't need.
That's a very
big giant thing full of people for everybody to agree with us. We just don't. I mean, we can start up our own new and just run with it that way. If you don't want to roll with us,
I think the best way to change behavior is by example.
Yeah. We could take everybody who's in this room right now, for example. If everybody in rooms agrees with what we put out there, and we're going to put out some good shit, and we can just bring everybody along with us. Who agrees?
That's a lie. You can't take everybody with you. That's the line.
I'm talking about this little group. This is the smallest group here.
Yes. But they're not the most powerful. It's chats like this. It's people like us that makes the change, Wally. I live it every day on YouTube. It's hilarious to me. You know, I think this is a sport, but no one is going to ever take me off my square and change my pathway. I don't change, especially when you're moving with a purpose.
That's why your chat's so much bigger than mine.
No, it's not. No, I'm not. I like I said, I think we're equal. I don't align myself with people who are lesser. I don't get any benefit. You know the number one rule is to align yourself with 5 people like-minded like you or more successful. You align yourself with unfortunate people. No, you could talk to them, you can chat with them, but I'm talking about alignment. You're gonna be in a pool of disaster. That's the first rule of being successful. Never align yourself with unsuccessful people, ever.
I guess that's why they say, well, I say that if you have, let's just say 200 people in the chat, right? They're either laughing with you or laughing at you. And the biggest percentage I can say is, I say 50% of people are laughing at you because you come up with funny content or you just a piece of shit. And the rest of them are like, yeah, I agree with this person, and this is the reason why I'm sending them super chats and da 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 da. I don't beg. First of all, I don't beg and I don't put out shit shows. That's what people want me to do, is put out a shit show on a woman or especially women.
Listen. This male person in the chat is very interesting to me.
What?
And here's the thing. I don't know if you read the Bible or you're familiar with the book, the story of Noah's Ark. It's my favorite story. I say it all the time.
Deuteronomy.
Huh? Noah's Ark?
Genesis.
Yeah.
What about
it? So recant the story for Mel.
Wait, say that again? Say that again?
What does the story teach us?
The story teaches us that because there were giants in the earth who basically who were taking over and basically killing all the men, women, and children of the earth, that God found it toxic, and he decided to basically tell Noah to build it. And Noah was a drunk, by the way. And so God basically told Noah to build an ark within a certain amount of days so he can start over, basically, and take 2 animals of each kind, and then put your family on the boat, and it will rain.
You put your family on the boat, right, first, and then get not just you and your family on this big ass ark. What did God say? Get 2 of every other species.
Yeah.
So they can, and it's usually male and female, right? They're not going to have 2 males on there, so they can procreate and start over.
Correct.
So that being said, what happened when he started to build that boat? There were some naysayers that threw rocks at them and bricks to hit them in the head. Stop building that boat. Right. There are some bystanders that sat around and watched him doing it and said, what this nigga doing? This is ridiculous. The fuck is he doing? It ain't gonna work. You're putting the nails in the wrong hole and shit. It's gonna break down. It's not gonna work. And then you had some people, very few people, that helped. Right. They helped build. And then this is the gag. This is my favorite part of the story. They all didn't believe it was going to rain. They haven't seen rain in that area forever. Rain? What are you talking about?
Rain.
Right. They were like, this is a show. This is entertainment. They all stand around. Like 75 to 80% of the people stood around, whether they were throwing rocks or just did nothing. But when they felt that first drop, they were like, what the hell? And it didn't come all down at once. They felt moisture. He was almost finished.
Slowly but surely.
Right. And then God told him to get on that boat. And when you put up that lever, no matter how many screams you hear, no how much demise you see outside that boat, do not let them on.
When that door closed, that was it.
That's it. Right? So the takeaway is some will, some won't, some wait. So what? Next.
Sprinkle a little something. Oh, I like the way you think. And okay, of course, once I build it, they gonna either come or they don't. And those who
But then
come,
when they start banging because they don't want to die, right? The rain is coming. They like, okay, open up. We sailing away, and this guy and then the chat is saying, oh, individualism. No. You can't succeed by yourself. But if you don't adhere to messages and moments, and you make wrong decisions, because we are free will based human species, you have a choice, and your choice was to stand there, ridicule, not move, not get to work, do nothing. What do you want God to do? He sends people to give these messages, and they're being pooed on forever. But when you're in despair and the boat is like out at sea and you're standing there in a storm, a tsunami, saying, God, why me? Because of that choice.
right.
Let's go.
Okay. What's that?
All right, so here's the problem: is the woman that you're talking about that's doing all this child alienation? That's not the majority of women.
Yes, it absolutely is. Yes, that's why I said what I said. You self-soothe and escape. That's the majority.
Wait, I thought like men was involved. If your child alienated from you, how you gonna be involved?
That's why it's a crown.
Wait, no, but if you're involved, then your child, you can't be alienated from your child.
Right. You don't take care of your stuff. You're not a good homeowner because somebody broke in your house.
No. You can't.
Somebody doing something illegal don't mean that you're not in your child's life. Try to God with somebody else. I'm not with that.
So we hold on. We did not jump in front of you. You asked me to hold on, and I held on, and you went uninterrupted. Let's not act like that didn't just happen. So you wanted to get your full point out. You got your full point out, and then now that it's falling apart because majority of women are not alienating their children from the father.
So the majority of men are not doing.
Everybody has
majority of men are not doing all the shit that you're saying. So why would you?
It's a reason why everybody in the neighborhood has a big mama house and they don't have a big papa house.
They do
because the big mama would feed everybody because the fathers were not there. Wow. We gotta stop acting. The reason why the so-called drug dealers
they don't want to be there.
Ouch.
Clearly, even though this is my show, you have a problem with me talking. But even though that these drug dealers, all of a sudden, like the people that are destroying the community the most, now you say they are the ones that are taking care of all of these men, these young men, which we know is a fucking lie. These drug dealers are not the ones taking care of the community. They are not the ones that's taking the majority of kids to teach them how to play basketball, teach them how to rap. No, they see a young kid that's doing degenerate behavior. They feel they can make some money off of that young man, not because they actually care about the little boy. Most of those.
I'd agree to disagree with you. I'd agree. Listen, I can go on for days.
So you was on the panel too.
Yes, I was.
And you was really trying to.
I was. I was. And I was literally just going to say, look, because I told him this also, Sharon. It's like, if you don't think that there are those, and I'm not saying all specifically, but there are certain people who sell drugs and not do drugs, but sell drugs. They don't help their communities out. You must be out your damn mind.
Exactly. You know, and it's sad because he's from my old hood, South Side. He comes from 134 in Guybrush. That's the same block of 50 Cent Sharon comes from. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Okay.
No, I do.
All right. So
and for the simple fact that he was actually there and he doesn't know this, it's
no. Because in all areas, See, I could go back to that hood any moment. I go not frequently. I'm not gonna hold you, but at least twice a year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I still got cousins in the projects. Think I forgot about them?
Oh,
No, absolutely not.
you don't forget about your family like that. No.
Right. I'm not gonna
Where
say
you
I
fucking
don't forget
came
about
from.
them, but when I roll up, I always try to nudge. Think about Noah's Ark. You still want to do what you're doing and live how you living in that mindset? Okay, let me pull out. See you next year. See if your mindset changes then. But don't think I don't go back to check. Some people never return. They say fuck them niggas. They're never going to be anything. There's always hope everywhere. 50 is a misrepresentation for dads.
When I go back to that old Ice Cube song, "Be True to the Game," it's all a representation of how not to do what he did. Like, you go back to your hood.
That's very interesting that Mel
Yeah.
said that.
What did
50 Cent is a misrepresentation of dads. He's a celebrity. I don't know him. I just know his story. I know his story very
that
well.
whole situation with
And if you're
his
talking about Marquise, his eldest son, the one that looks exactly like him,
mm-hmm.
imagine being a celebrity with multi-millions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rich people, their kids have to work. 50 Cent gave his son, up until he was 25 years old, $77,000 a year in child support. That's how much his son made. Do you know how many people in America don't make $77,000 a year? 50 Cent would see his son blowing his money because of his mom, the black woman that is a slave to the streets. She liked the drug dealers. She liked the street dudes that made the money. And now that 50 got out, she just wanted to lay up and not have any more success. After he bought that Tyson's property and all of that, she wanted him to stop. If he listened to her, he would have never got his vitamin water deal. He would have never been on Power.
Mm-mm.
He would have never. And all along the way, he was motivated by different women, like Vivica Fox, who was an actress, like Chelsea Handler, like Ciara. He already knew her mindset. They didn't grow together. And what he did, $77,000 a year. If I gave you $77,000 a year, We-On-Loc at your age, not as a young kid, what would you do with it? That extra 77. Would you be able to live in a nice place? You could even probably have a home at 77,000 a year.
I'll probably build a small little dynasty.
Yeah, but $77,000 a year. Some people have been working at jobs for 30 years.
30 years.
And don't even make that.
Don't even see that shit.
Right. Money is not love. It's true. But if you, and this is the flip side of family, if you're, just because you are blood related, that doesn't mean you family.
Mm.
A lot of people experience that. That doesn't mean you marry somebody and that is your family. Some people get divorced every single day because they made bad decisions. They realize this person doesn't have the same moral compass as them. They're not driven. They're not going. People, it's all about relationship dynamics. Mel must be young.
I don't listen.
How old are you, Mel? 20?
I don't.
I feel like I'm speaking to my
ones.
nieces and nephews in the chat, and I try. I really.
And most of them piss me off, but I try to learn from my mentor. It's like, what would you prefer? Would you prefer vinegar and water, or would you prefer vinegar and a lemon? I
Well,
said,
Mel, I'm sorry. They obviously you made that statement without doing research. I've been covering 50 on my show for a few years. You know what I'm saying?
he
I've
is from Jamaica,
covered,
Queens. Right?
huh?
He is from Jamaica, Queens, right?
He is
Okay.
South Jamaica, literally across the street from where Sharon lived. I didn't live on his area. I come from South Jamaica, Queens, but down, like on the other side. Trust me, a grown woman. Oh,
He
this is a woman. Got it. And 50 is a colorist. Got it. Well, I don't know if he's a colorist with his grandma. She looked. You ever seen how much 50 loves his grandma? His grandma is a blackity black woman.
yeah,
That's the love of his life. It wasn't
yeah.
no white.
We
It
all
wasn't a
seen the
light
movie.
skin lady. And his first baby mother was brown skin. I
Yeah,
think,
we all seen the movie and stuff of it, but
yeah, like he's not a colorist. He just likes women. All
just like
different types of women. And now that he has different types of women as his access, why don't just you know what I'm saying?
right. It's just like like Kanye West been through a lot of women. Now he just dates white women, so it is
No,
what
he
it is.
doesn't. No, he doesn't. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. So 50 Cent, the latest with 50 Cent, he's celibate now. He's done with the white bitches. You ain't see what you probably missed that live. He's been celibate after Cuban Link. He's been celibate for over a year now. He doesn't want any woman.
I stopped watching 50 after his third album came out. I
Well,
stopped. I
but
stopped paying attention.
I don't listen to his music, but I watch his career. I watch what his moves.
You know what? I lied to you because I have watched Power, and after Ghost was killed, I stopped watching it.
Yeah, and then even that project, it was raw, right? And then Hollywood pressured them, stars that is, the network, pressured them to put in that homosexual shit because it would mirror the times. He never wanted that stuff in it. But it does mirror the times. It has to be realistic, right? And he
Mhm.
has different series and kickoff that's present day with his son. You know,
Mhm.
it's a lot of what we see today in that show. And he does have writing, rights, meaning he doesn't have to approve something out. But being he approved that, but you can always see bits and pieces of his messaging in there. And that's the only way these celebrities that are half conscious, let's just say half conscious, are able to get their
Mhm.
message out because they can't really say it straight up in interviews. You know what I mean? I think that he's one of those people that was raised right. Thank God for
By his
grandma,
mother.
his grandmother.
And his grand.
His
Well,
mother died. His mother died real
he
young.
was raised mostly. He was raised mostly by his grandmother. Yes, but
Yeah, and the grandfather. He was raised in a grandmother grandfather household because you know,
Mhm.
and that was his grandmother's favorite grandchild. They were really close. I think if he didn't have that experience with his grandmother, he would have been gone a long time ago. I think getting shot 9 times, his grandmother is what kept him alive. To be honest with you, his grandmother's love.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all probably don't understand what I'm saying, but spiritually, you get shot 9 times and twice in your face, you're supposed to be out of here.
And those bullets are still in him, believe it or not.
Yeah,
And he's still
well,
walking with a
you
limp.
you gotta you really gotta look at moments, life.
Mhm. Bullets are still in him. But here's
And I'm not saying that I'm like some big major 50 Cent fan or anything like that. I'm just saying he's better
Well,
than a
we
lot.
get it. We get
He's
it.
better than a lot of those people that are out there right now. He's
No,
on his trolling shit, but
hold
is
on a
what
second. Hold on a second, Lisa. Now, what if I told you if you don't feel well, I'm gonna be cool, okay? Just to let you know. She's dealing with some complications right now, but
Oh, blessings up, Lisa. I
if,
really hope
if you
you feel
feel
better
tired,
soon.
if you
And I
if
got
you
to get ready to go because the mister just came in. I
oh
have to
oh
drop.
oh tell him I said hello.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right, see you. But as I was saying, hey, Bridge. Now, if you don't feel like you want to move, don't feel like you want to stay or anything like that, you don't even have to talk. Or you don't even have to type. Just log off, and I'll be good. I will definitely be good. Um, I've thought about everything that was being said. I really do. I really thought I'm thinking about everything that's being said. And oh, yes, Trish, by the way, I will definitely email you about Belize. But let's get back to this. And here we go. We disagree with you right there.
Most of these men that you're talking about that are the drug dealers, they are not the upstanding people in the community. Nobody looks at Nina Brown and say, yes, that we need more of that within our community. Nobody's looking at big.
How do you come from the hood, my nigga? You don't know that there were back in the day specific drug dealers who took care of their communities. How can you not know that? There are people who, well, one of them got terminated in prison, but how can you not know the specific people? One of them was a Crip. One of them was a Crip and took care of his community. What the hell? This is the type of nigga that you say no to. And again, when we agree to disagree on certain things, I don't mean no harm, but we're just going to be on the opposite sides of the spectrum. That's all. We're not going to agree with everything. We are going to be on the opposite side of the spectrum, and for good reason. And for good reason. We are the world, and I am for the interest of my people and my people alone, no matter where they come from.
To say, yes, we need more of big niches in our community. Nobody's looking at all these goddamn gangsters that y'all saying that's taking care of all these little boys and turn them into upstanding citizens. There's no stories of these people.
That's bullshit. I had the nigga in the back of my head, but fuck. I'm dealing with too many people, but don't worry. Do not worry. No. Because this is not the show for it. Because we're talking about infant immortality versus infant immortality versus abortion. That's what we're talking about. And who is mainly responsible for the deletion of our kids? And there are many different conferences to that. That's why we are here to unpack all those things. That's why we are here to unpack all those specific things that I just mentioned. Why are babies being deleted? If women are solely responsible for the deletion of children, we need to put it in the forefront right here and see why. One of them is infant mortality. That would be the reason why. Because it reads here. I'm gonna read this along. causes of infant mortality: birth defects, sudden infant death syndrome, preterm births, uh, uni, unit, unit, uniternally injuries, car crashes and stuff like that, pregnancy complications, and of course, racism. And I would definitely add in niggas who don't like to take care of their kids. Or what Umar Ifatunde will put it, ain't no daddy at home disorder. And so women get internally frustrated and they say, yo, you don't want to take care of me. You don't want to take care of your child. I don't want to be here stuck for the rest of my life with my seed. And I'm going to have to terminate this child, which is wrong. But I'm going to have to do what I got to do to survive. Since you don't want to be in my life, it is what it is. Again, I'm going to tell you, it's wrong. It's wrong. And I'm not the judge of you. You're going to have to see God for that. The only way I will accept a termination of pregnancy is that the baby is being forced down your throat by grape. I'm going to say rape, whatever. Incest and deletion of both you and your child, or both. If someone's coming after you, if you're in a car crash and all of a sudden you're having complications, you automatically have to go and get a C-section done. And if that child does not make it, that's acceptable, right? If the father or whoever's in the family is being inappropriate with you and wants to have sexual intercourse with you, which is the most sickest fucking thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. And all those people who are into that should be damned from society. That'll be the only time you will terminate your child. And I don't even like using that word. I don't even like using the word delete. If you are not responsible, if you can't be responsible for taking care of your own child, put her up for adoption. Put them up for adoption. That way, if you can get your situation straight, if you get the money straight, then it's possible, because some of those children end up in the care of two overgrown, stinky white people. Overgrown white men with that rainbow flag symbol all across their brow and adopting your child. So if I were you, I'd get it together and start adopting some of these people, adopting some of these kids. Let's continue.
In majority fashion. Stop.
You all right? You okay?
Okay, you good. You good.
Molly?
You all right.
You okay? You sure?
Yeah, I'm tired of the lies that y'all be.
You happily tell the lies while you continue to lie. That shit don't make sense.
I don't know. It's just a little weird.
I know. It's just a self-soothing thing that you do. You got the escapism, but I'm somebody that says stuff based off research. All you got to do is go to your start looking at stuff. So you got limit of one thing. Women specifically are alienating and child abusing at the highest rate. They also delete 649 children. That's 24,117,000 children since 1973. Avoiding being mothers, right? But y'all sit your ass on the internet talking about these dads ain't in their life. These chicks are avoiding being mothers and avoiding responsibility, and there's a corporate. So it's not that all y'all looking for, again, to bring up the men, is to find escapism and say somebody looks up at the drug dealer like Jay-Z.
I don't think it's yeah. Well, it could be that now that I look back at it. But going back to Mr. Bracy, how can you be tired of something that is basically black men? There are ex-gangsters, ex gang members who absolutely do take care of their community. Absolutely do take care of their community. Even the ones who are involved in the gang life, right? I don't know if it happens now, but there was a period of time, yes, where gangbangers, even ex-gangbangers, were taking care of their children and other people's children, taking care of a whole community, starting schools, starting foundations. And you don't believe that? That is insane. I want to get off this and I want to transition to something that I found earlier, right? Why are babies dying?
Data when it comes to healthcare disparities among races.
Yeah, specifically, doctors saying that infants experience the highest rate of infant mortality compared to other races. But why is that? So Kennedy Walker, she joins us live in studio. You've been trying to find the answers to that.
Yes. Good morning, Keith and Madison. Infant mortality remains a concern in the United States, but African-American babies have the greatest risk. Research shows that black newborns are more than twice as likely to die in their first year compared to white newborns. They are also nearly 4 times more likely to die from complications related to low birth weight, and that's according to the Office of Minority Health. Now, common causes of infant mortality are premature birth, low birth weight, and sudden infant death syndrome, more commonly known as SIDS. And some infant deaths and stillbirths, they are caused by an increase in chronic health conditions among black women before pregnancy, like type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. But historically, and we said this before, data trends surrounding black maternal health outcomes, they are concerning. Black women have experienced higher rates of pregnancy complications, with them being 3 times more likely to die during pregnancy and childbirth than white women, regardless of income, education, or lifestyle. Experts credit this health disparity to structural and systemic racism, which can lead to chronic stress. And stress takes a toll on the body and could ignite biological changes in a woman that can affect her unborn baby's health.
We can't talk about infant mortality rate and racial disparities without talking about structural racism, social determinants of poor health outcomes, like where someone resides, lack of transportation, food insecurity. When patients are availing themselves for early prenatal care, we're able to provide what we call wraparound resources.
Now, doctors encourage expecting mothers to establish with their doctor to address any pre-existing conditions. Also, experts say that prenatal care, that is crucial for mother and baby's health and can help diagnose any congenital conditions.
Yeah, simple things, even like prenatal vitamins. I mean, doctors will urge them and tell you how important they really are to the baby's development.
Yeah.
I mean, am I missing something? Now, these things, you know, infant mortality and, you know, abortion might be 2 different subjects, but overall, to me, it signifies why so many babies are no longer here. It just signifies to me To me, it doesn't have to signify to anybody else. I mean, I really don't. I really wouldn't give two fucks if you didn't believe me or not. If you didn't follow my pattern, if you didn't follow my pattern of why specifically are women supposedly, allegedly aborting their children. And if I told you specifically, the numbers do not add up. And now I'm not a math person. I'm not a math person by any means, right? But if the evidence is right there, right in front of your face, and what I just showed you doesn't prove anything, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Some people often say, well, the male is often not in the child's life because the woman doesn't want him in the child's life because of XYZ. I was like, you have every right due to the fact that is your child. The name is on the birth certificate. That is your child. You have no excuse. And if you have to go to child support court to get an order to go see your son or your daughter, then I mean you have every opportunity. There's a small little factor in there. Most Negroes do the most laziest shit and make excuses. The reason why they don't see their child, oh, she won't let me see my child. That mostly never happens. You just can't stand her. You can't stand her. And respect, in all due respect, I don't know this situation. I don't know y'all situation. But you gotta stop making excuses. At the end of the day, that child don't want to hear your excuse. That child don't want to hear the excuse. Oh, she doesn't like me. She doesn't want to be around me. Oh, I cheated on her. Oh, she cheated on me. The child does not want to hear that. The child is hungry. The child needs clothes. The child needs attention. No matter what me and my wife go through, those children are more important than me and her. I could give a damn about me. I could give a damn about her. It's all about those children at the end of the day because you put them on this earth. I would never, this is all about abandonment. This is all about abandonment. It ain't about nothing else. And black people, especially black men, because they know. I see you out in the chat, or excuse me, I seen you out doing your live streams. And you form all these men groups, King Talk. Fuck you. What is this about? Huh? Or we go be bashing women all day. I ain't got time for all that. It's entertaining when I need to be the entertained. But at the end of the day, are we fighting for the next? Are we continuously fighting one another to let the next generation know how full of shit we are? Or are we fighting to fight for some type of solution to keep the black community afloat? Because right now, This is getting boring. This is getting tiresome. And I'm sick and tired of having to, well, I'm not defending anyone at this point. I'm not defending anyone. You know why? Because this is y'all's responsibility. I am and for those who are, and disclaimer, for those who are already in a situation, for those who already have their kids and they're all grown and everything, this is not for you. For those who are already married, for those who have girlfriends and with their boyfriends and boyfriends with their girlfriends, and you have kids and you already have and you're already in a situation where everything's good, it's not for you. But for the rest of y'all, I could care less. This is y'all. This is your hole that you have dug yourselves into. Now let's see. Let's see if you're bold enough, if you're brave enough, if you're intelligent enough to dig yourself out that hole. The men are tired of the stories, and quite frankly, I am too. But the women are just as much as tired as dealing with tired men. So my question is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do from here on in? And I'm going to transition in a minute because we're going to be talking about other things, relationships and stuff like that. What are you going to do to better not only her situation, but yours, black man? What are you going to do to better his situation, black woman? What are you going to do? Are you going to stop letting these white folks determine your fate? Or is this going to be Deuteronomy all over again, where Moses collected God's people? And during that time, they were complaining and complaining and complaining, and they were doing this for a whole 40 days. That's all they were doing is complaining and complaining. So I ask you, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Give me a couple of seconds and I will be right back. Why is it not going to the phone? Oh, I can't go to the phone anymore? How about this? Oh, here we go. Give me a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. Hi. Shit, let's go to the next clip. What do you mean? No. I'm right here. I am right here. I ain't going nowhere. Let's go to the next clip, shall we?
Same neighbors, Bill Cosby, and day, and because I was so excited from Philly, I stop and I look at the school. I say,
we differentiate that.
It's a gift and a curse, and don't cut.
This is we all listen to your content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know, how do you differentiate your core message with entertainment? Because I think a lot of the times your message, it resonates with people, but we also find the comedy in it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we differentiate that?
It's a gift and a curse. And don't cut me off with no more of my answers. It's the gift and the curse. Because on the one hand, I think the message gets trivialized too much, right? To the point where it can become a joke to some people. On the other hand, without the trivializing of my message, it doesn't go as broad as it has. So I'm willing to tolerate it. In other words, you have no consciousness at all.
Yeah.
You just a kid on social media doing your gaming, doing what you do. You get a Dr. Umar meme, some goofy thing that some white kid put together on TikTok, right? But you say, you know what? This is so interesting. I'm going to go see what this guy is about. You follow me? And then you get hooked on the Pan-Africanism. I can't tell you how many parents I've met who said, I didn't even know you was a psychologist. I just thought you were a social media personality. Somebody sent me a meme, and so I looked you up. And lo and behold, you end up helping me save my child with autism. You end up helping me save my child from ADHD, from education, from school expulsion, from suicide. You saved me and my husband from getting a divorce. You follow me? So I recognize that sometimes in order to catch the mice, you got to put a little bit of honey on the trap. And so the comedy is the honey on the trap.
Okay, I had a question because that's obviously interesting because us here, we create content and obviously
the Arabs, the Chinese, the Latinos, the East Indians, the Jews, or the Caucasoids. This is for black women only. I will respect white women, sure. I respect all humanity because I'm an African.
Towards maybe other races because they don't really love themselves. What's your thoughts on that?
I think the self-hate is mutual. I think black men and black women, without question, share it. I think the reason why you see more bunny hopping amongst black men is because we tolerate it more. It's not as acceptable for a black woman to date outside of the race. Without question.
And I often tell you, for the life of me, I don't know why black men date outside their race, but that's here nor there. Here's my problem. For all the problems that we're having in the communities, why is it so apropos to have white people tell black people how they should feel, how they should act? It's like, how dare you? And it's like sticking like you're literally in my face telling me how I should feel, how I should act. And you end up being these Officer Tatum type niggas. I can't stand that nigga. I really can't. He was in some campus just making excuses like, you have a better situation. This is the richest country in the world. You should have no. It's like, are you going to gloss over the things that specifically the reason why we're having so much trouble building wealth, power, and influence in this country? Are you just going to gloss over that? Or are you just gonna go to the fact that we have these opportunities that white people don't even want anymore? But the simple fact that they have everything that they need. They have everything. Now we're just literally catching up. But here's the thing. Why is it? There's a reason. There is a reason why that things are so high. Inflation. The reason why inflation is here. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why this generation, if so, don't get paid as much as what we got paid back then. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for why white people continuously get richer, and we're still we're not even competing at a high rate, and we're supposed to just take the baby with the bathwater. And you think interracial dating is going to make a difference in this country? Interracial dating. That's sort of like just saying social immigration is the reason why we're here. No, social immigration is one of the reasons why we're losing at a very dramatic rate. You want to get along with everyone. Well, good luck with that.
A black man who dates a non-black woman, especially if she's Caucasian, has an inferiority complex. Without question. I don't care who it is. Charles Barkley, Joel Embiid. If you're a bunny hopper, you have a racial inferiority complex. Because if the white woman is better than the black woman, the white man is better than your ass too. You can't get around it. And what they try to do is they try to heal their racial inferiority complex in that white vagina. So when the black man penetrates the white woman, it's not just an act of sex. When he penetrates the white woman, in his mind, I'm finally being accepted by my oppressor who I always wanted to want me. You see that? It's a psychological way of trying to force yourself into the group that has always rejected you. Because the black man was never allowed to have the white woman for so long, she's now his most prized possession. He believes that she is the ticket to his equality with the Caucasian.
So why do they still hold on to their like culture? Like I've seen black men that are with white women, but they'll still hold on to their cultural belief system.
I know some of our greatest men who had white women. Sheikh Anta Diop of Senegal, probably the greatest African cultural anthropologist, excuse me, not just African, greatest anthropologist in history, one of the greatest historians of all time. I mean, this is the black man who took flesh off the mummies in Kemet and proved that they had to be African based on the percentage of melanin in their skin. When you look at Sheikh Anta Diop's library, the books that he wrote for us, you know, showing us who we are and where we come from, are almost unparalleled by any other scholar. He was a supreme intellect and still a bunny hopper. So do you know what that tells me? Right. Despite all that knowledge you had, you still had an inferiority complex in you. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, who worked with Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, Sheikh Anta Diop, Ivan Van Sertima, and Dr. Yusuf bin Yaqin, in my opinion, are probably the three greatest African historians and anthropologists we've ever had. And of course, you have others, right? Yeah. But Ivan Van Sertima had a white wife at one time. You see, so just because you know who you are, that's intellectual. Hating yourself, that's psychological. And I think too often we confuse the fact that you got knowledge of self with an assumption that you no longer hate yourself. And nothing could be further from the truth. Because if that logic is correct, every PhD in African studies, every PhD in the world in African studies would have a black wife. And we know that's not true. So simply knowing who you are does not mean you've overcome your self-hatred. You have to internalize that information. You got to internalize that cultural truth. Simply having it in your brain means nothing. Have you become it? You see, when I go to talk to our children, I need them to become.
Something just came up. I'll probably be back tonight. But I'm going to stress to my people who are watching me, the people who are going to rewatch this. I'm going to stress to you this. And you can either listen or you don't want to listen. It's fine. It's up to you. At some point, if we can't get this, we can't get our shit together, I'm gonna have to call for separating the men from the women. We just need to separate those who are already in relationships. It's not for you. Those who are in marriages, it's not for you. But for those who are struggling and continuously provoking to have these conversations each and every single day and not coming up with any type of solution, any type of balance to say we are wrong. If we can't admit we are wrong, so how are we going to move forward? Because if we're just going to have shit shows all day, entertainment, what does it teach the other side? What does it tell the other side? The next generation, what is it going to tell? Already, dating is to them the worst thing ever. It's like they don't even want to date. All they want to do is have sex. But the women don't want to have sex. So what you want to do? You want to call them bitches and hoes all day. You don't want to have you don't want to have a relationship. You don't want the responsibility. Those who do will try their best to stay away from this. Those who do want a relationship, who do want to do right by their women, who do want to do right by their men, would try their best to stay away from this. Because to me, right now, YouTube is a cancer. When it comes to relationship talking, depending on what sector you're in, it's a cancer. And you're not going to be able to solve anything, how to be in a relationship or whatever. And I'm going to name some of the players pretty soon, because I'm pretty much fed up and I pretty much don't give a fuck who don't like me or not. I'm going to be naming some of these players. One of them is Fatty. The other one is Angry Man. The other one will be Anton, but yeah, Anton does his own thing. Anton does his own thing, and he's the least of my worries right now. He's the least. Plus, he is married to a black woman, right? But the people who get on your nerves the worst, they need to be excluded from conversations like this. But like I said, situation just came up. I should be back within, say, 12 o'clock or so. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. Mahogany, once again, thank you for the Cash App, my love. I'll talk to you soon. Lisa, call me a little later. Bridge, love you. You know my one of my bright stars. I don't even have to say it. You already know.